Dublin, Cardiff, make some noise!
It has been a great march. Emotionally draining, to be honest, and very powerful and impactful. You could see the people walking around. Some of them are, you can see it in their eyes. Some of them were crying. The scale of this aggression on Gaza, I don't think the history has seen before. And it's targeting everyone left, right and center. At the beginning of the war, they denied bombing Al Ahli Hospital and one of the oldest churches in the world. But now they've managed to bomb every single hospital in Gaza. They have bombed every single school, they have bombed every single university, they have bombed every single UN premises on the land. Well, the Palestinians were not surprised, because this is the Zionist project since 1918. It's based on ethnic cleansing. They did this in 1948 when they kicked the Palestinians from the occupied land. They did it again in 1967. And since, every 2 or 3 years, there is an aggression on the West Bank, there is an aggression on Jerusalem, there is an aggression on Gaza. Because that's part of the bigger picture. It's never been about Hamas, it's never been about resistance. The whole story is about the existence of the Palestinians, and they want them removed. Based on analysis from specialized organizations, they are saying that to remove the rebel from Gaza, it would take at least 8 years. To rebuild Gaza, it will take at least 80 years. However, they forgot the Palestinians have mastered this. Palestinians, they come back from death. Palestinians, even among the airstrikes happening in Gaza, you can hear their laughter, you can see their smiles. The Palestinians who are among the most educated in the Arab world. The Palestinians who love life. So if they are thinking that by demolishing the whole of Gaza, or demolishing the West Bank, or Jerusalem, Palestinians will leave, they have to guess again. This will never happen. We will rebuild our mosques, we will rebuild our schools, we will rebuild our churches, we will rebuild our universities. And most importantly, we will rebuild values of democracy and human rights, and we will teach the rest of the world those values. We're never stopping. And you know why? Because the people of Gaza have taught us that no matter the hardship you're going through, ease will always come with it. They have been a best practice example of patience. And this is a big lesson you can't teach from your family, you can't learn from the schools, you can't learn from universities. And we have live example happening in front of us. No matter what the hardship is, there is always ease with it. For 9 months, the people of South Wales have been coming out. One of the most committed nations in the whole of the world. Recently you've heard the news about our brave and hero students in Swansea University who've managed to force the university on divestment from Barclays. And again, we stand here today among our beloved brothers and sisters, the brave students of Cardiff universities who've been in encampment for more than 33 days. And based on the lessons they've learned from Gaza, they have made it clear. They won't leave until their demands are heard by the university and the senior leadership team within the university. And it will happen. Do you know why? Because if you go and read through history books about the fight and the battle between the good and the bad, the good will always win. And those students have been away from their families, from their friends, from their comfy beds and mattresses for 33 days. The community love has been great. They are well fed, by the way, thank you very much. Their spirits are very high. And their determination is even stronger than before. After what happened to our 19 comrades, the Cardiff 19. This has fueled everyone with more energy to stand up and say, no more of white supremacy, no more of discrimination, no more of racism. Who are the organisers, they keep asking? They don't know. They don't know. It's a global movement. It's an uprising. It's an intifada. Each and every single person who cares for democracy and human rights is an organizer. And we will come week after week in support of the Palestinians, in support of the Sudanese, in support of the people in Congo, in support of all the oppressed people around the world. Because it's a simple equation. The people united will never be defeated.
The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated. The people united will never be defeated.
Cardiff, we said it before, we said it for the past weeks, and you're teaching yourself, you're teaching your community, you're teaching your family, you're teaching the children, you're teaching your network a very, very valuable lesson. And as we said at the beginning of the march, this is not only about Palestine. This is about our basic human rights. And if we allow this to happen to our brothers and sisters in Gaza and in Palestine, believe me, you are next. It's happening to every single one of us. We would prefer to teach our children, our sons and daughters, how to live under liberty, under freedom, not under oppression. As it has been said, you can live in peace, but you will be enslaved. The Palestinians don't want peace anymore. The Sudanese don't want peace anymore. The oppressed people don't want peace anymore. The oppressed people want liberation, self-determination. And that's what we will fight for day on day, until they get what they want and then until they get what they deserve. So be proud of yourself and make some noise.
It's been so quiet, I don't know if I should be whispering. But on a serious note, today we march to honour the fathers, the men in Gaza. When we actually reflect on what is going on, the tragic truths, every time a building turns to rubble, it is the men that dig through that to find those children. Every time those men come out to rescue those children, those women, the elderly, they are then being targeted, chased by drones and blown up. With their limbs missing, they still rise and they still dig to look for their fellow people under the rubble. The men of Gaza are then taken and shackled and bound and blindfolded. And we have all seen what Israel is doing to the men of Gaza. There was no evidence that any man was raped or woman was raped by the Palestinian people. But it is now being proved in every court that Israel is raping the men and boys of Gaza. We need to amplify their voices and speak their truth. The men of Gaza are like no other hero we've seen before. Muslim men are targeted continuously for having a beard, but it's okay for any other religious man to have a beard. Muslim men were painted as terrorists. We have seen throughout this genocide, this is not a war, this is a genocide. The men of Palestine and Gaza have risen. They have done more than we have ever seen. They have shown more humanity than we can even describe using our words. And despite them picking up their children, their babies, their wives, their mothers, their sisters, they still smile. And they still teach us humanity. And they still tell us to continue amplifying their voices. Because like you've heard, peace is not good enough anymore. Complete liberation and freedom of a people is what we are fighting for. When we walk around and we walk through town in silence, that was the real life Hunger Games displayed to everyone. While people are dying, oppressed, no food, no water, no electricity, no hospitals, nowhere to hide, not even concrete to protect them anymore. They live out in tents and they still get bombed. And we come out and still life for people around us goes on as normal. This is the level of entitlement and privilege that we speak about. A privilege that if this was your father, your brother, your mother, your son, your sister, your child, your baby, your niece, your nephew, what would you do? You would not allow it. You would stand up and you would resist. You would fight for your people. You will fight for your freedom. You will fight for your liberation. And that is what every person does when they stand. They call us terrorists because we say no to genocide. They call us terrorists because we choose to cover ourselves. Well, guess what? The only terrorist I see out here is Israel and its supporters. Every time we come out and we march, remember why we do this. The people in Palestine are now subjected to continuous carpet bombing. They're in tents, they have nowhere to go. There was never a safe zone. There was never a place where anybody was going to survive. This is an ethnic cleansing, an apartheid. This is a genocide. And every day, all I ask of you is when you see these numbers go up, these are not numbers, these are people. When you see an image of a dead child, that isn't just a picture, that is somebody's child. To the fathers and the men of Gaza, you are the true heroes of this world, and thank you for showing us humanity.
Our final speaker for the day is Dan, and Dan is one of the students who's here in Cardiff University student encampment. So he will tell you more about the camp and the activities they've been doing, and then towards the end, after Dan finishes, we've got just a quick reminder about the petition, and they will tell you about that. And then please feel free to speak to students who are on encampment. We've got free teas and coffees, some snacks as well, multi-faith room, portable loos, extra tents if you want to spend the night as well. So everything is available here. Dan.
We've been here for over a month now, outside this university and the historic building that they care so much about. In Palestine, every single university has been bombed to bits. There is no university left standing in Palestine, and yet this university cares about the fabric of the building and the damage that candle wax might do. This is appalling on them, and so ignorant and entitled, and it shows their unwavering support for the system they stand in. We must continue in the rain, in the sun, in the wind, until our demands are met, until we can see a free Palestine in our lifetime. The university is only now engaging in negotiation talks with us. Yet they claim ignorance, they claim that they don't know what their own university is doing. They claim that they don't know if Airbus is an arms company. They're just not sure whether 15% of total profit from arms sales is enough to make them do anything about it. Shame! Shame on Cardiff University. Shame on Wendy Lana and Claire Morgan for their continued and ongoing and willful support of genocide. They want our research to show that they are doing wrong. They cannot look internally and see that their institution is upholding genocidal and warmongering systems. They just can't see that we do believe in this. They don't really seem to understand the passion that we have and that we think our institutions, our university, our tuition fees should be going towards bettering the world. They write nice sounding statements and strategies to be an anti-racist institution, yet they agree that they are using Islamophobic processes like Prevent. They agree that they are doing things that are against their strategies, but they don't do anything about it. They just see it as, oh, maybe we can aim to be better in the future. Or they claim that, oh, it was a different vice-chancellor in the past, so, well, they can't do anything about that now. But we know that they can. They have changed things in the past. Other universities, like Swansea, have achieved material gains within their universities. The university can divest from companies. They can stop working with arms companies. They just don't want to. So we must stay here. We must stay here until they do. We must make them listen and make them care as much as we do. And if they don't, then we must stop them from being at the top of the university. They can't represent us if they are so complicit in genocide. They can't just be happy with that and move on. Because we will be here, whether for years or even months before graduation. They are representatives of us. And we, therefore, are also representatives of this institution. It is our institution, we fund it, so we say no. So join us, whether camping or just for the day. We have food, we have drinks, we have lots of games and people here to talk to. So please help us, and we will continue to help you.
As we all likely know, and many of us may have been there, on the 3rd of June, 19 pro-Palestinian activists in our community were brutally arrested by the police. Our students were there. They arrested a 12-year-old child and put her in a separate cell to her mother. They arrested our disabled comrades, our older comrades, all of them, with no good reason. We call on you all to sign this petition. This petition symbols what we have been doing for the past several months and how brutal the police have been in response to us. This is an unprecedented amount of escalation from them. I don't believe any other protests within the UK have seen this amount of force from the police. We all saw them back again today in their numbers, pushing us off the streets. So, shame. They think they can intimidate us. They think if they get our organisers, we will stop. We will not stop, and we will never stop until Palestine is free. And as has been said before, this is a global movement. We have the Sudanese community signing this petition. We have climate activists signing this petition. All these organisations. We are all in this together. Because any infringement on our rights is an infringement on everybody's rights. We cannot allow this to set a precedent. We must stop it before they carry on. So please come see me and sign this petition. If you have any organisations, come speak to us. Share it wide and far to anybody you know. And free Palestine.
Thank you guys. So sign the petition, and yeah, just have a wander, chat with the students, have some coffee and teas, relax. Thank you for coming, and see you next week and the week after.